brought to you by Japan. Check the description to get a discount off your first purchase. Hey, my name is Javi, and this is not a workable console. I know that looked very realistic. As the title of the video suggests, this figure is a crossover between Transformers and PlayStation.
This right here, probably one of the greatest things you ever seen. I always wanted to get this, because I know there's a Sega one too. So let me just see if somebody did a review of this. I don't know, I might put this on both channels, I don't know. I just wanted to see this, because it's one of the more interesting, so I know that there's the PlayStation 1 and Sega. I seen there's a handheld one I didn't even know about, and then there's the there's like a transformer that turns into a baseball cap. So it's interesting. I said let me check this out because I always wanted to get one of these. I think it's well, back then it was $100. It's probably more than that now because it's probably very rare. So.
Two of my favorite things ever. Besides that, as I mentioned all the way back in my Mario review, the PlayStation 1 was the console of my childhood.
Yeah, that changed everything.
Like Crash, Spyro, Brave Fencer Musashi, anyone heard of that? The PlayStation 1 dragged me into the gaming world, and I have not left since. And Transformers were the toys of my childhood. So when I heard these two properties were crossing over in toy form, I went myself with my tears because I couldn't afford it. But cut to a few years later, and I still wouldn't buy it myself. But thanks to the beautiful people at Japan, all my dream. When I heard these two properties were crossing over in toy form, I went myself with my tears because I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, 89, 89. Yeah, it's more. It's I know it's way more than that now. You can forget about $89. Try maybe if you're lucky 150, probably 200 and something now.
But cut to a few years later, and I still wouldn't buy it myself. But thanks to the beautiful people at Japan, all my dreams came true. Or did they? Yes, as cool as the concept of a transforming PlayStation 1 sounds, the figure itself is not the childhood fulfilling fantasy that I wanted it to be. And before I make another tired depression joke, let's jump right in. The figure comes in a box with an opening flap, which goes to show that these guys have a high opinion of themselves. It's not completely unjustified though, because the painting and the sculpting on this figure is awesome. There's a lot of areas of kibble that shows you what this figure transforms into, but if you designed a robot that transforms into a video game console, you would want to show it off. So all these little bits of PlayStation detail are welcome, and as a Transformers design, this guy's pretty cool. He's blocky but lean, and for some reason has the head of Optimus Prime. Now I would not call this a problem so much as it is a nitpick, but nothing about this design tells me that it's Optimus Prime. I mean, he doesn't even have the truck tits, but I guess you can argue those tall shoulders are a reference to that Optimus Prime, but the designers probably didn't mean that. I just can't shake the feeling that the designers shoehorned Optimus Prime's head on this original robot body for marketing value. At least the head we have has beautiful painting and sculpting. This has got to be one of the best Prime head sculpts I've seen. Even a little better than the masterpiece Optimus Prime's head. Ooh, heresy. And the rest of the painting on the figure is very good. Not to mention the paint job's very durable, which means you could be a little rough with this guy. No. Alright, let's jump into shit. The figure is not the most fun to handle. I mean, a lot of the figure is solid, the legs are so tight you could hear it, it's just too bad that the feet are trash. The tiny ball joints at the ankle are very loose, and that was a very misguided design choice. Also, the wrists are too loose, the shoulders don't want to stay still, and the chest, oh, sweet. This is, without question, the worst part about the figure. This whole part does...
And this is why sometimes it's good to, check reviews. This figure is probably almost 10 years old now, and it looks good, but it also looks like it's light. I'm just looking at the video with like a collector's item. Yeah, but it looked see, I was getting excited over it. Next thing you know, like you see in the comments sometime, you read some people read it after the fact, like I used to. Okay, limbs falling off, fresh out the box. I don't know about that. It's just to piss you off.
not plug in, and who the hell thought this was a good idea? And as you can see, they could have easily made it so that it plugs in. Honestly, if this wasn't the way it is, I could almost forgive all the other flaws. Yet here we are, and I want to murder. These problems are especially disappointing because when it comes to solid transforming figures, Takara Tomy is usually the best. But some listings for this figure say it was produced by Sentinel, and if that's true, this makes a lot of sense. Sentinel, by the way, was responsible for this solid figure, and also this transforming shit show. It's very tragic that this is an Optimus Prime toy that I don't want to play with. And speaking of play, let's talk about his accessories. First of all, you get a PlayStation 1 memory card, and this is a very accurate replica of the real thing. They even got the labeling right. And if you want to talk about accuracy, check out this controller. While the controller without the analog sticks is not my favorite personally, I can't deny that this is fucking cool. Even the buttons on the controller are functional. The D-pad feels so real that it's scary. But the face buttons, they're not fooling me. It's just a shame that the start and select buttons don't work, and you can't press the shoulder buttons. However, you can flip them out to reveal some blasters, and that's just a part of this thing's transformation.
That's something.
This is a great way to integrate the controller into the robot mode, if a little bit jarring. Oh well, it looks good. And you also get 2 games I don't know, but we'll get to them later. Now, as much as I don't enjoy handling the figure, how could I resist a good swivel? Ball joint at the head, can't look up that far and look down that far. Rotation at the arm moves out, very tight bicep swivel. Bend at the elbow, swivel at the wrist, swivel. Side skirt moves up, front skirt moves up, and that allows for some leg rotation. And the leg doesn't move back that far. Beautiful spread, another squeeze. Bend at the knee, ball joint at the ankle, and of course every ball joint can be a bump. Posability on this guy is actually not that bad. I mean, I could get him into a variety of poses, but I don't really want to. So the figure was shorter than I thought it would be, but still a good size. Here's Deluxe Class Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime, Deluxe Class Generations Orion Pax, Monica Godzilla, and the Masterpiece Optimus Prime. So the robot mode undeniably looks good, but it's not the most fun to play with. But to my surprise, transforming the figure is not that bad. Getting everything to line up in this final step is a bit of a pain, but you're just gonna have to get through it and yell really loud. And here we have his PlayStation mode. Now, to be clear, this is supposed to be the first model of PlayStation 1, not the later PS1 models that we got.
Oh, that was horrible.
For all the panel lines, this is a damn good replica model.
Yeah, it's not bad because like I said, you probably just end up keeping it in the box because the foot falling off and the fist falling off.
Oh, no. Buttons are there, the ports, and even where you plug in the aux cables are extremely accurate. Even the bottom looks good. I only wish you could actually push these buttons because, yeah, they're just sculpted in. But the illusion starts to crack when you open it up. It looks fairly accurate on first glance, but then you notice his arms, his head, his ass. But you could cover that kibble up with the previously mentioned discs, and that is a great feature. But it would have been even more great if you could actually close the damn thing. These useless tabs that don't plug into anything in the robot mode are preventing the tray from fully closing. But then you take out the disc and we're good. And just like real PlayStation discs from 1995, they're fucked beyond belief. That was my bad. They come pristine out of the box. And it's kind of too bad that these 2 games don't tickle my nostalgia like the actual console does. If at least one of these games was Mega Man Legends, I would legit cry. I fucking love that game. So it's kind of pointless to talk about posability for a video game console, unless you could count how you could roll up the controller for storage. It even gets tangled up in a realistic way. That's great. As for the size, whoo boy, it's small. Prime, Pax, Monica Godzilla, and Prime again. And while this specific model of the PS1 was the first one I got, I've lost it over time. But I did manage to get one of those newer PS1 models. So here's the figure on top of that. So the PlayStation mode is pretty neat, but doesn't make up for the flawed robot mode. Kind of, this figure's good. The idea of a transforming PlayStation is just too cool to resist, but the execution of that idea was not perfect. Seemingly minor issues with the figure's stability hold me back from highly recommending this figure. But if you're a fan of Transformers and the PlayStation 1, you'll find something to love. Or you can buy an actual used PlayStation for the same price. But luckily for me, I didn't buy this guy. Japan had me covered on that front. Japan is a proxy shopping website that specializes in Japanese products. Figures, snacks, onoholes, I hope you looked it up the last time I asked you to. You're spoiled for choice on their website. Basically, you pay them to buy stuff from Japan and they send it back to you. That significantly decreases the price of international shipping. And as someone who's actually used the website, I highly recommend it. And if you use the coupon code JOBBYROCKS at checkout, you can get 300 yen off your first purchase. It's something. If you have any questions about how the process works, you can go ahead and contact them. They speak flawless English, unlike someone else who runs another proxy shipping service who may or may not be named Masaki. Thank you Japan for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys for watching. Next week brought to you by Luna
Like I said, it's probably just keep it in the box. So remember, wanted that figure bad as hell. Let me see something real quick, 'cause I never seen no video about it or nothing. And sure enough, there was a video. So I said, let me see something real quick, and there it is. So nigga too excited about like a collector's item or something like that. Keep it on the display or as a display piece, but that's about it.